QRS mat, which I have one I'm sitting on right now at my studio, which generates re-energizing your cells epigenetically. The latest one using the Fibonacci frequency sequence, calcium, magnesium, potassium. And we have the photon sound beam, which a colleague of his from the military rebuilt. And we're going to, I guess he dropped, so we're going to pick him back up again. Hopefully we have good a number of bars so we actually can connect to Dr. True, because I know he's traveling. He's actually, I think, on a native reserve today doing a talk. So we're going to talk about the Magi, which is a new device. I think, I'm not sure of the price, but I think it's going to be under $400. It's a device that you place at the base of your spine that re-energizes your cells. Welcome back, Dr. True.
Hey, Dr. Bill, I apologize for losing you. I went through a kind of a bad little zone there, but I'm back and hopefully got a good signal there.
Good. I want you to kind of give us an update on the Cell Vital mat, which we brought in from Germany with Dr. Fisher, that re-energizes your cells. It's the next generation from the QRS. I had a person last week ask me about the older devices, which Dr. Fisher doesn't support, that are out there like the On-Mat and some other machines that generate electropollution. The QRS mat is very good, and the Cell Vital mat is the latest generation for re-energizing your cells. I have one I'm actually sitting on, so I have the special pads. I use it along with the photon sound beam and my epigenetic frequency antenna system, which I've set up to create a neutralizing frequency for the, I call Sabbath mineral frequency field that you can generate over your entire home to block electropollution. You have the Magi, which re-energizes your cells, and it actually generates a pretty strong Gauss field at the base of your spine, so it actually regenerizes your entire body. And it's tuned to 432 hertz, which is the primary resonance for minerals. It's very important to understand that minerals are the Sabbath, in a sense. They're like the voice of God into all your food. And I'd like you to tell us about the latest on the Magi, because it's going to be available in the next couple of weeks, probably right after Labor Day. Or maybe before.
That's our plan.
If you can get it before then, if you can send me the information, we can have people pre-order. And get the picture and the information. I'll have it posted up here in the next few days, and people can pre-order to get one, because they're going to be inexpensive, powerful, and very, very helpful, along with our other epigenetic frequency therapies we have.
Yeah, you know, there's a rare earth substance called neodymium. Neodymium is a very powerful magnetic source. Okay, you can have either a ceramic magnet or this neodymium, and we found that looking again on the periodic table of the frequency energy of neodymium and the Gauss field it generates kind of got me to thinking, well, wait a minute, if you can combine a specific iridium frequency, tune into that, what would happen? And so we were kind of surprised. I say me and my electrical engineer friend, I questioned what would probably happen with combining a radio frequency broadcast on a neodymium using the magnet as a sort of antenna. And he said, well, not anything more than like a quarter or a piece of silver or whatever would do. It's just a metal is a metal. And so I said, well, let's try it. So we took a pure, a junk silver quarter, which is mostly silver, tried the comparison to that with one of our modern day quarters, which is mostly really base metal, right? And lo and behold, that we put in the same size, same circumference of the quarter on a regular neodymium, and guess what? The radio frequency, when tuned to that specific frequency, increase the magnetic Gauss field literally 100%, 100 times. Not 100%, double. No, we're talking about 50 to 100 times. It pegged my Gauss meter pegged well over 30,000 Tesla, 3,000 Tesla units, which is amazingly powerful super magnet. All right, so what does that mean? Well, we're finding out that when you hit that on the sacrum part of the body, that there's a stimulation of the nerve endings that's pretty doggone amazing, powerful. So that's what's happening with this. We're combining it with with some static neodymiums with the specific frequencies tied into it that are fused together in the antenna. It's all, again, proprietary, but very simple. Not complex at all.
You know what's really amazing is how this all comes together, and it's basically intention fields. And I like to use the term, as I mentioned earlier with Pamela, lumen photon. Frequency, in a sense, is voice, and voice is, in a sense, the physical representation of prayer. Remember Masaru Emoto talking about prayer even over water. When you have the intention fields of frequency, for example, 4,000 years ago, 7,000 years ago, the magnetic flux field, the Schumann resonance field of the Earth was 4,000 times stronger at the time of Adam and Eve. At the time of the Babylonian times, it was actually 2,300 years ago, it was 30 times stronger, so it's getting weaker. If you put an animal inside a mu metal box, it actually shuts off their DNA. So your ion channels talk to your telomere and tell them which minerals to let in to actually turn on your genes. And your genes code for either structural proteins or protein wrapped around a monoatomic mineral we call an enzyme. That's all DNA codes for. It doesn't code for anything else. So minerals are the if you want to call it the keyboard of your DNA, aren't they? And they're tuned to 432 hertz. So if you turn those off with electropollution, you block them, you get gene silencing, you get enzyme silencing, you get loss of messenger RNA, and loss of structural proteins and enzymes. So every disease state is tied. So this will help to reverse a lot of the electropollution effects in your body. We have the epigenetic frequency antenna system, which I have. We're going to have the Magi. So if you get that information to me with the pricing, I can get the orders over to you so people can even pre-order. Because they're going to be great. They're going to fly off the shelf, aren't they?
Well, they are. It's a simple concept. It's going to be totally wireless. You can take it with you, portable. I want to just caution you, though, if you're interested in this, that I wouldn't exceed more than 20 to 25 minutes. In our beta testing of this, Dr. Bill, every single one of the 10 individuals became, within 20 minutes, had developed a kind of a aching sensation at the base of their skull, and it generated like a headache sensation. But immediately when you shut off the pulsing and just have the magnets by themselves, the energy field, the headache went away immediately, and their chronic pain, many times the sciatica. I had one gentleman who's just crippled almost with the sciatica nerve damage. And he's in constant pain, having to take opioids and other pain meds, regulate immune function. The effect of pain relief to him, he said, was equivalent to a morphine shot back in the day when morphine was really working for him. And he said it lasted longer, too. It lasted about 6 hours, and it started to come back. And so he did the same thing all over again, and indeed, the same exact results. And so I've asked him to give me the unit back because it was just an alpha test. He begged me not to. He says, I'm becoming dependent upon this. I need it because my pain is doing much, 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 much better. So I couldn't take it back from him. But anyway, and that's the same response in everybody testing it. Want to first of all make sure it's not going to hurt anybody, and that's obviously not happening. The high Gauss electromagnetic field is something that stimulates healing electrons, healing action. I'm sure you know this, but Dr. Becker, in his book, The Body Electric, cites a series of studies done in the 60s and 70s concerning acute injury, like a broken bone or a sprained ankle, separated shoulder, just large bruising on individuals, starting with lab animals and then showing humans tested that were in part of an accident. And there's a very strong positive magnetic field associated with an acute injury in the body level. He's able to measure that. And
just like a salamander has a strong electrical field at the end of their limb when it's regrowing the limb, right?
Yeah, and so to generate the healing, the body generates a north polar magnetic field, which allows the electrons to basically repair and regenerate, because the damage is manifest in a south pole polarity. So what we're doing with this technology, Dr. Bill, is we're magnifying the north pole. very important that this pad be the north polarity, and the pad will be marked north and south. Every magnet has a north and south pole. So you got to make sure to put that on the north end. I didn't have this fellow pulsing this. I showed him. He tried it on himself at the South Pole, and he was like immediately, like in 5 minutes, just racked with incredibly intense higher levels of pain. So it will.
Interesting.
If you want the pain help, do the North Pole. If you want to have your body have even more pain, get a South polarity on it.
Right. That's why we know all the people that I know in our Academy of Environmental Medicine said the North Polar magnets on the body are what you need. Now, what this does is at the specific resonant frequency of minerals, so it amplifies that. Now, you can use that in conjunction with my epigenetic frequencies that we use through the Sonic Life, through the ProGen 3, through the Pearl M Plus, or the Sonic Life machine, and down the road, maybe a year or so, the Lumen Photon. The key issue is you have to re-energize the cells, so the Celvito mat is the best machine for re-energizing your cells. I call it the lightning bolt machine, the photon sound beam, violet ray machine, puts the most energy in. If you're trying to resurrect tissues, it puts the most energy, the photon sound beam. What this does is resonant treatment that actually energizes your healing energy of your body. It also amplifies the mineral resonance so that if you're taking the right supplements, and you, by the way, have to take the right supplements, because if you don't have the minerals present and the right supplements to jump over any gene defect, you can't heal because you don't have the building blocks like my Red Deer Velvet or these special minerals. We have not only my albion chelate minerals, we have the monatomic minerals too. What people should start understanding is you need signal plus substance to heal. And what this does is raise the cell energy, because the cell energy starts to drop as you get older. And when you get older and older, your cell energy actually drops to the point where you can't reactivate genes to make structural proteins, enzymes, or detox, or fractionally reclone your body into a new organ every night you go to sleep. So aging, in a sense, is gene silencing and a drop in bioenergetics, isn't it?
Yes, and we're in the midst of everybody's becoming more and more aware of the opioid epidemic. Of course, your OxyContin, your oxycodone, these opiates work to stimulate the central nervous system through what's called the vagus nerve, or the cranium nerve pin is what they're calling it. Now, what happens with that when that vagus nerve is stimulated? The pain relaxation happens usually in 10 to 15 minutes of taking the opiate. The problem becomes the liver starts to become toxic. The body signals, well, this is a foreign substance, so the body starts to build immunity to the opiates. And so it takes more and more opiates to get the same level of pain relief. And what happens when people go into a coma and die from opiate overdose, it's because the liver now is shut down, as you know, Dr. Bill.
Right.
That's what causes all this problem. Well, hey, how about a substance that can stimulate the same vagus nerve structure with a high Gauss pulse field, and do it very economically in a portable battery pack structure? I think we got a winner here. I really do.
Right.
And so, yeah, the research done by Dr. Pauling, Dr. Becker was part of this in researching and developing the quantum resonance system, or QRS, and the latest edition, the Celvital. All is about stimulating that central nervous system from the entire spine, from the lumbar to the cervical area coming out. And the clinical research and study is without a doubt impeccable. I mean, you can spend, Dr. Bill,
Exactly.
months, daily, 8 hours a day reading the clinicals, and you won't even get a part of it done.
Exactly.
It's amazing. It's for
Exactly,
real,
yeah.
most definitely. So.
Yeah, this technology is literally bringing back the years of Methuselah. Allows you to counteract the toxic pollution of 5G networks, smart meters, smart grid, cell phones. It helps to counteract the demineralization of our soil and our food, too.
Do you have Have difficulty taking supplements? Are you searching for a high-quality, complete nutritional drink that your whole family will love? NutriMedical's Life Support has arrived. All of your daily nutritional requirements in one quick, delicious drink. Dr. Bill Deagle's Life Support is a proprietary blend of vegan protein, activated vitamins, essential minerals, amino acids, probiotics, green tea, digestive enzymes, anti-inflammatories, cancer prevention, detoxification, and much more. Your body will high-five you for this one. Life Support is the best complete nutritious meal replacement on the market. Whether you are an elite athlete, have post-operative challenges, chronic illness, elderly, or a family that just wants a quick, delicious drink, try Dr. Bill Deagle's Life Support for optimized nutrition in one great tasting smoothie. Just add cold water, almond milk, fruit, or anything else you like. NutriMedical's Life Support. Try our great tasting chocolate or vanilla today. Call 888-212-8871 or visit us online at NutriMedical.com. NutriMedical.com for the whole family.
Legacy Emergency Foods is the top recommendation from Dr. Bill Deagle for the lowest oxygen concentration, the largest entrees, the highest amount of protein, the most varied entrees as well, and the longest food storage life. Nothing like Legacy Emergency Foods, and if you place a regular monthly order, you get 20% off and free shipping. Do get Emergency Foods for your supply for preparation, and get it from Legacy Foods. Contact Dr. Bill Deagle for the link at NutriMedical.com. Go to the Shop by Products link and drop down message at NutriMedical.com, and then place your orders for regular emergency food for yourself and your family. Nothing like emergency food if the power goes out and you can't go to grocery stores, or if there's an emergency or a national crisis. So NutriMedical.com, top recommendation, Legacy Foods. NutriMedical.com, go to the Shop by Products and drop down menu, and stay well with NutriMedical every day of your life. Lumen photon therapy, infrared light, far and near infrared, is extremely important for pain control, stimulation of nitric oxide, improved perfusion, and stem cell activation and reduction of cytokines. Dr. Bill uses it for pain control, for regeneration techniques, for organ regeneration, and for stimulation of your stem cell activity. This amazing lumen photon therapy this year will probably have an additional device with frequency therapy during the on phase of the lights. To obtain a lumen photon machine, contact Dr. Bill at NutriMedical.com, 888-212-8871. He'll prescribe it with you providing nutraceuticals to help with your regeneration, healing, and pain control. Nothing like the lumen photon therapy for easy therapy for your eyes, your pain, your joints, regeneration of organs, detoxification of the body. Get a lumen photon machine from Dr. Bill Deagle, NutriMedical.com, 888-212-8871. To stay well with NutriMedical. The Sonic Life Machine is one of the most amazing therapies that Dr. Bill provides. It is the best sine wave exercise machine on the planet, doing whole body vibration, opening up the muscle to reduce insulin resistance, improve perfusion, release stem cell therapies throughout the body, and epigenetically stimulate the body to release DNA activated. The epigenetic therapy with the sine wave curve of frequencies given for atomic resonance, but Linus Pauling for minerals and amino acids, stimulates the production of messenger RNA to correct structural protein enzyme deficiency for almost every illness. There's nothing like the sine wave therapy for improving body healing for exercise, but also the epigenetic treatments Dr. Bill can provide can help neutralize frequencies for disease states and illness. Get a Sonic Life machine through Dr. Bill Deagle at NutriMedical.com. Contact us at NutriMedical.com, 888-212-8871, or go to the website NutriMedical and give us a contact. Dr. Bill is available to help you get well with NutriMedical.
Need a powerful ally to fight daily bugs and serious pathogens? Allicin Med is the powerful universal pathogen killer's latest advance of German-sourced allicin, enzymatically stabilized to clear the body of bacteria, fungi, mycobacteria, and parasites. It penetrates body biofilms and is non-toxic to tissues. Pathogen resistance cannot develop for long-term body-optimized wellness. Clear stealth pathogens that promote autoimmune disease, cancer and vascular inflammation and plaque, and promote healing of tissues. Now pathogen-free. With 200 milligrams more power than prior Alamed, you can't get a more powerful ally to fight daily bugs and serious pathogens. Give your body what it needs. Allicin Med. Order Dr. Bill Deagle's Nutridyne at 888-212-8871 or NutriMedical.com. That's 1-888-212-8871 or NutriMedical.com. And listen to the NutriMedical Report on the Genesis Radio Network with open lines every weekday. NutriMedical.com, bringing nutrition and medicine together.
I did. I sent them for both. And welcome back. So, Dr. True, what we're sitting on is sitting on a level of ignorance of our politicians like Donald Trump, who's great in other ways. I mean, he's a fantastic conservative politician who wants a constitutional republic, but his advisors are pushing 5G network and 6G. We have, since the dawn of electricity, been blocking and causing increasing illness. In fact, we talked on Monday with Scott Tipson. He did research in Europe and found that when you put animals closer to power poles and to high-tension power lines, it raises their blood sugar, so it turns them diabetic, basically. We know that a lot of illnesses now are amplified by toxic electropollution, mineral depletion for soil. So if you don't have the minerals in your body and you don't have the activated vitamins that jump gene defects, you're going to have gene silencing, enzymatic deficiencies, and loss of structural protein, i.e., illness, disease, dis-ease. No longer eased. You're dis-eased. So tell us about how this Magi and how the cell vital mat and the photon sound beam and other epigenetic technologies can help along with the right supplements and minerals to re-energize your body and have the building blocks so you can rebuild, fractionally clone yourself into a new you. And remember, aging is bidirectional. It's not just unidirectional. You can regenerate joints without doing a joint replacement. You can regenerate your heart and grow new arteries without doing a bypass or stents. You can regenerate your brain after a transdimensional, traumatic brain injury using technology we have, including my Red Deer Velvet and even special peptides. And by the way, I recommend you can purchase those peptides. We've dropped the price $10 from all our peptides, but you should have a starter protocol for me. Don't just start taking the peptides and think, well, it'll just take the peptides. No, you need other supplements, and you may need transcranial or other epigenetic treatments like the Magi, lumen photon, etc., in order to actually heal your tissues. So tell us about these other machines, the Cell Vital Mat, the Magi, the photon sound beam. Tell us all about them and why, in our world of now electricity, where they're pushing 5G network, they're going to put 20,000 satellites in the next few years in low Earth orbit. They're putting in every roadway in Japan. They want to put them in every roadway here in America. And cities have already started the testing in Los Angeles and Sacramento. I think it's a very, very dangerous thing. It's like, I say, here in America, it's 327 million guinea pigs. They're electromagnetic guinea pigs, too, aren't they?
Well, they are. And, again, the level of specific minerals in the brains of, like, migratory birds is the classic example. When you scramble that energy signature in the brains of birds, the birds will fall out of the air, and this is what's happening.
Yeah, I know. It's amazing, isn't it? It's kind of scary that when you see this kind of thing, that where you see them literally falling out of the air because you turn on a 5G cell tower. It's like, duh. Do they not get how dangerous this is? Right?
Yeah, exactly. And see what about the honeybees? We really don't know what 5G will do to the honeybees. Well, if the honeybees collapse, I mean, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out.
Let me fill you something in. Have you ever seen that little Dance of the Honeybee on a nature show? And you see them do a little figure of 8. Now, when they do this is interesting. Just like birds, they have magnetite. Now, magnetite is created by a supernova. When supernovas explode, they actually create iron. So all the iron in our sun, all the iron in our planet, which is a lot, was created by a supernova in ancient times by a previous star system that exploded, and that matter was regenerated. It went through what's called a black hole, emerged through space-time in a white hole, and condensed into stars and planets. Stars and planets don't just accumulate dust. They're actually emerging from white holes through the space-time vortex from a black hole. Does that make sense? That's why the mass of a black hole and the size of it at every galaxy is proportional to the number of stars in that galaxy. Because the white holes are stars and planets and other objects like meteors and so on, comets emerging from black holes from the center of the galaxy. Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah. Well, be that as it may, we just know that the body is very much an electric conduit.
Right.
And it's
Exactly.
very much tied into magnets. Magnetic energy is. There's a reason why we have iron in our blood called hemoglobin. That's
exactly.
Iron-rich blood.
Yeah, and that's absolutely bees navigate. They actually navigate they can actually see the geomagnetic structure of the Earth, and they navigate on that. And that's why when you turn on cell phone towers, the bee can't find their way back to the little hive, so you get a colony collapse disorder. It's caused by, I call Beeheimer's disease, caused by electropollution. Although there's other things like neonicotinoid pesticides and tiring them up by dragging them across the country to pollinate another crop. But the biggest thing is disrupting their literally geomagnetic ability to navigate to get back to their hive. They use the sun position and the geomagnetic structure of the earth, which the little bee can see in their magnetite brain. The same thing as birds. They navigate for migration based on magnetite in their brain, don't they?
Yeah, indeed. And so we juxtapose all of that fact and science in the last 25 years to see what's really going on in plants even. There was I was on Dr. Royal's show a few months back, and I explained this latest study. I sent him the study out of Saudi Arabia. What the Saudi Arabian scientists said, they took a date palm grove,
right,
and they separated the date palms into specific sections where they wrapped I'm not sure, I don't remember the exact gauss fill. I think it was like 1,000 gauss fill around
right.
the trunk, like in a pad, but it wasn't a pulse fill like the QRS is. It's a static fill, which means it just stays the same. Well, they were doing this. They postulated there would be absolutely no difference in the size and quantity, nutritional-wise, of the date palms that were blossoming versus the no magnetic group.
Right.
What they found and was published, Dr. Bill, was really quite jaw-dropping.
Right.
Because not only were there more dates, like a 25-30% increase in the yield, but the dates, when analyzed, guess what, had as much as 45 to 50% more minerals in the date. Now
interesting.
It's the same soil, it's the same age of tree.
Right.
Everything's the same. The watering, everything exactly identical. How in the world does this have 50% more of the base important mineral nutrients in the same soil? Again, I submit to you it's because of as the Gauss fill of the earth decreases, I think that's directly proportionate to the nutrition in the food we eat as well. You said earlier the Sabbath, the sacrament of the minerals.
Exactly.
I think it's very much tied to that. Very much so.
Your old colleague Linus Pauling made an interesting statement. He actually hypothesized how to build what's called a field ion scanner, FIS. And it's like the next generation beyond the MRI or even the PET scanner. The PET scanner measures fluorodeoxyglucose with positrons, and you create a positronically labeled glucose molecule, and then you insert it, and if you look at a positron detector, you can actually determine if a lesion on a CT or a CT scan, high-speed CT, is active metabolically, indicating it's probably a tumor. So the gold standard at Sloan Kettering Cancer Clinic in New York is to measure a spiral thin section CT and a PET scan within 48 hours. Now, the field ion scanner could tune into specific minerals. You could actually see you metabolize a ham sandwich and see where the molecules are going. You could actually look at, say, your liver and look at an intermediate like homocysteine or lead or zinc levels or a specific enzyme like copper zinc superoxidismutase 1 or some other enzyme like 5-methylfolate reductase. And so what I'm saying is that FIS needs a supercomputer in order to do it, but it's theoretically possible. I postulated this about 6.5 years ago with a radiologist up in Los Angeles when I was up there. The idea is that if you look at the body, it's an orchestra of vibrations or sounds, isn't it? So expand on that a bit, please.
Well, yeah, and again, if you look at the wiring of your body through what's called the nervous system, look at the nerves as being the equivalent of a wiring of your house, okay? You've got a central entry point of electricity. And again, thank you, Nikola Tesla, for bringing us alternating current.
Right.
And so we take all this for granted, but it's got to come into a transformer, a circuit box, if you will, in your house that then distributes that electrical current throughout your house through wiring schematics where you can have outlets where you can plug things in, watch television. We all know this because it's part of our modern existence.
Right.
But what is not commonly known is the body is exactly the same wiring structure. The central control box, if you will, for want of a better term as a metaphor, is the sacrum bone in your pelvic floor.
Right.
That's where all of these energy centers and signals from minerals originate out to what's called the central nervous system, or CNS. Now, if you can stimulate that sacrum electromagnetically, it seems just purely logical and reasonable to assume that the body will be a so much more a better efficient organism, and
well, it should raise the mineral content and enzymatic and protein content of tissue. And basically, every night when you go to sleep, your cells basically clone yourself and fractionally into a new body. So please continue.
So that's why this magi is going to be about 4 inches wide by 6 inches long. Okay, so it's going to fit right in over your belt line. Man, if you wear your belt about where I do, it's
you talking about in the front or in the back?
In the back, right over, because you want the North Pole facing the sacrum in that region. Right. That's where it's going to be sending all the energy. So you sit there and you can have a little electric Velcro or a Velcro strap to tie it off. You pulse it for 20 minutes. When you turn it off, you're still getting a very high neodymium magnetic field going into your cells. So what the stimulation is like, okay, we're going to just wake up the central nervous system by the 25 minutes of pulsing, turn it off, let the magnetics, because the blood's going to continue to flow around that whole central nervous system through your spine, and the end result is again, every nerve that comes out of the sacrum to what's called the horse's tail bundle of nerves, or what's called the cauda equinas, will in turn stimulate every major organ group of cells, from the brain to the kidneys to the liver to the pancreas. All of these things will be intricately similar. There's 7 endocrine glands that will be stimulated as well through this. We don't have the clinicals, to be honest with that, but the QRS and Silvertown does. We know from the clinicals what happens with such things as incontinence. Women that might have, and men that have something what's wrong with their bladder, they kind of start to leak a little bit, so they have to wear these garments, the pants garments, and this type of thing.
Right.
The studies done on this pelvic floor stimulation, which is what I'm talking about here, is completely eliminates the incontinence. Now, as the incontinence is eliminated, the problems of the dis-ease state are also seem to get much better, ameliorated through, again, I think the mineral and nutrient structure to repair and rebalance. The body is fearfully and wonderfully made, the Bible tells us, and I agree with that. We just have to understand the role of magnetics, because the microvoltage of each cell and each tissue and each organ structure is very much dependent upon that incredibly balanced electromagnetic field. When that's blocked from calcification or other toxicity, Dr. Bill, you have disease result. It's kind of a simple thing, really.
Yeah, exactly. Now,
again,
this is coming at a very auspicious time. We have a situation now where the health of the population is deteriorating, the IQ is dropping, the fertility, the number of the genderization of the population is being disturbed. We're seeing new diseases that are massively increasing: diabetes, ADD, cancer rates, human lifespan shortening, mental illness is increasing, addictions are increasing, chronic pain is increasing. These are pretty serious things, aren't they?
Well, indeed, I'm liking this to, again, going back, taking a page out of the chiropractic charts of Dr. Palmer and others, and talking to some very, very gifted, long-term, 40-year veterans of the chiropractic industry. Before I even designed this Magi, which, by the way, stands for, the full name will be the Magi's Magnetic Audio Gout Ingester. That's what Magi stands for. It's an acronym. Okay?
Right.
And it'll be, the first part of it's the Sacrum Magi. When I bounced all this off of my think tank of continuing education teachers in the chiropractic colleges, they became very, oh my gosh, a moment, Dr. Ott, you have no idea how important that could be. Because
exactly.
They're trained to have the most important adjustment in the chiropractic field is that of the core.
Exactly. Amazing situation. We'll be back in a moment with your questions if you have any on this. It's 818-818-6401.
Are you still looking for that one iodine that you can really trust? A medical doctor endorsed product that is backed by honest research and true integrative science? Then search no further. Go to NutriMedical.com for Dr. Bill Deagle's Nutriodine, proven time and time again to be the very best iodine available for you. Nutriodine is the only Tesla-activated monatomic plasma iodine in the world. It optimizes mitochondrial function and generation of new mitochondria, from totally neutralizing the venom from a desert recluse spider bite in Southern California to eliminating malaria parasites reported by medical missionaries in Central India. Dr. Bill's Nutriodine is simply the most powerful healing formula there is. Nutriodine clears the body of all known pathogens, restores it to an alkaline state, and even promotes stem cell regeneration. Order Dr. Bill's Nutriodine today at 888-212-8871 or visit us online at NutriMedical.com.
Red Deer Velvet DR is an amazing new product with a patent to preserve 300 biomolecules and 6 hormones, same as fetal life, where you don't age at all. The state of fetal life allows the 300 biomolecules and 6 hormones produced by the placenta to be supportive of the regeneration of tissues and organs, with maximum apoptosis, changing the tissue and organ structure of a fetus. That's why if fetal surgery is performed, there is no scar. Taking 2 to 3 capsules twice a day with oncomycin, myco-D2, provides an amazing support for regeneration of any tissue and organ in the body, and even advanced stem cell therapy support treatment. Do get NutriMedical's Red Deer Velvet DR from Dr. Bill Deagle at NutriMedical.com, NutriMedical.com, 888-212-8871. Stay well and stay young with NutriMedical. Hi, I'm Dr. Bill Deagle, MD, AAEM, ACAM, A4M, of NutriMedical.com, and a consultant providing email advice free on advanced protocols for your optimized wellness and advanced technologies to heal and regenerate you. You can contact us at NutriMedical.com, that's NutriMedical.com, or 888-212-8871. You get free email starter protocols of our top medical-grade nutraceuticals, initial testing, and recommendations for your own primary doctor to do, as well as recommendations to give you an idea of a consultation and a full protocol to try to help you regenerate your tissues, heal naturally without the use of toxic polypharmacy. I can send test kits to you as well anywhere in the world and provide you recommendations to referral of specialty clinics worldwide. So contact me, Dr. Bill Deagle, at NutriMedical.com. That's NutriMedical.com, or 888-212-8871. At NutriMedical.com, we have the most amazing drinks with the best mouthfeel, highest quality bionutrient exposure to your body to heal and regenerate, and the most powerful persistence of nutrients to heal your body dramatically. We have Ageless, which makes you age less, which repairs your DNA, extends your telomeres, etc. We have Life Support that detoxes phase 2 detox pathways, glucuronidation, sulfation, and methylation pathway support. We have Glycemics that blocks the carbohydrate absorption and helps with diabetes or weight loss, and as well helps with people that are trying to build up muscle, using things like our special formulas from Dr. Wolf called Mega Muscles between meals along with Sports Energy Light. We have the amazing NutriComplete, the most complete red and greens drink in the world, with the best mouthfeel and flavor. You can often mix it too with Vitamin Mineral Mix, which is our fruit-flavored mixed power of vitamin minerals. Stay well with NutriMedical every day.
I remember when I lost my mind.
And welcome back. So, Dr. True, we have a range of therapy. I want to summarize it. Signal plus substance equals healing. You need to raise the cell energy. You need to raise the mineral frequencies in the cell to turn on genes to produce protein and enzymes. You need to support the body's metabolic activities by allowing the body to fractionally clone yourself into a new body. Aging is not unidirectional. It's bidirectional. You can heal joints. You can heal your heart, your tissues, your brain. You can heal your glands like your thyroid if you take our supplements like mitothyroid and take epigenetic frequency therapy. And we're expanding those. In fact, we will have soon, when you give me the pictures and the pricing and so on, we'll have the Magi. I think it's going to be under $400, the Magi device, isn't it?
Well, that's my target price. So again, I go back to, I'm as you know, I'm a huge fan of Dr. Pauling's work, and Dr. Fisher's on the QRS and now the Cell Vital. But as I talk to people and tell them the story, they love it, and of course the science is backing it. But they start having some grief about the price tag. We're talking $4,500.
Right.
And to some people that's no problem. They'll write a check, but the average mom and pop, blue collar worker, especially those that are retired, that's quite a chunk for them. And it's sad, Dr. Bill, but it seems like the people that are in the worst pain and need it the worst can't afford it. That's just been my experience. And so I racked my brain to say, what can we do that's affordable, that anybody, no matter what your level of income is, can really afford it.
Right.
And that's why, this is such a basically simple thing that it's cost me quite a bit of money and time to come up with the circuit boards and have it all ready to produce.
Yeah, you're a very reasonable guy, though. You're not going to, like a big industry, really overcharge them. You could easily bring this device out and charge $3,000 or $4,000. You don't. You're hoping to have a target price under $400.
And so I'm adding all the numbers up, and it's okay to make a little profit on it. It's okay for you to make some money on it. That keeps you going.
Well, we have to keep us in business, otherwise how do we afford radio? I mean, it's not free.
But
some people think, radio is free. I said, no, it's free to listen to it and to get blessed. It's not free. We have to pay. We have our time. We have costs of everything from computers to airtime to everything. And we have to also do products development. It takes a lot of money and time, even lawyers and compounders to put it together.
My point in all this, bringing this up, is we're not pharmaceutical companies that can take a pill, let's say a Viagra pill that costs all of 1/10 of a cent to make and sell it for $25 a pill. Look at that huge profit markup on it. No, that's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about something that is just a small, reasonable margin for profit to go. So to answer your question, $395 is where I want to be on the retail pricing, with some normal margins like 25-30% to other people, to make it incentivized. So anybody can afford that, really. And then you got to make sure it works and the testing is there. And so,
well, the primary things I would say that are going to happen with this: number one, your pain syndrome is going to go away. Your body's going to start healing, especially if you have the right nutraceutical protocol and supplements to take with it. You may need additional epigenetic frequency therapies to go along with the Magi, because you want to put the specific frequencies into your body too. And if you have the right supplements and the right minerals and resonance and so on, your body's going to heal. And the problem is, you see, that we want to take somebody off of drugs completely or reduce it to the point where we're on the absolute minimum. Because drugs, I heard one funny statement by a doctor who was actually honest once in a while. And they said, the reason why drugs work is because they have side effects. So if a drug doesn't have a side effect, it probably has no effect, too. I'm thinking, he's a comedian, and he's actually being honest. I can't believe it's almost like that Canadian comedian that actually had a day where he had to tell the truth no matter what. He always spurted out the truth. Remember that day? They had that Canadian comedian was on. It was years ago. It was really funny. And one day he couldn't not tell the truth, and it was hilarious. All of the actual blurting out. Imagine if he could hit somebody with a truth gun, our politicians or our pastors, and have them tell the truth. It would be hilarious. You did video clips. You could put it up on YouTube and so on, and people laugh their head off. They'd actually probably get hurt from laughing too hard.
Yeah, that was Jim Carrey. The movie is called Liar, Liar.
Liar, Liar. That's it.
When that movie came out, I actually was I thought deeper about it, as I'm apt to do, and I just thought, what is the cause of really all pain and problems in the world? And maybe this is a Pollyanna approach, but I wrote a paper on this. No, think about it. If all the problems of the world is summed up, to me, it said people just need to tell the truth. Maybe that's because my name is True. But think about it.
Yeah, I like that. True on. Yeah, that's funny. And by the way, the truth is interesting. The light is not the opposite of darkness. It's the darkness is the absence of light. Do you like that?
Yeah.
So when you bring electromagnetic light into your body, the lie, the sickness, goes away because it's just darkness. Like shining a flashlight in an area of a home that's got cockroaches everywhere. You'll see the cockroaches run because they don't like light. You put a flashlight and they're running from the light, aren't they?
And I would submit, I take Nixon and the Watergate scandal, okay? Of course, politicians do dirty tricks, and the Republican GOP and that resorted to bugging the hotel room. Well,
Right.
so what? That happens. I mean, it's a little slap on the wrist. But what brought down Nixon, I submit, was the cover-up, the lying, the absolute not telling the truth when the gig was up that brought him down. Because, you lose something called trust in the American public, and you lose everything. And they couldn't continue to function. They had to resign. And I use that as an example all the time of saying, well, just tell the truth. Just be honest. And by the way, parenthetically on that, there's something called a lie detector machine that can measure your body's responses when they tell untruth, because in your soul that's the fault that in your cells are going to respond. Well, so what? When you tell the truth, your cells respond in a positive, stress-free way, too. It's very stressful to lie, to cover up your lies all the time, Dr. Bill. Very stressful.
A good example of that is Joe Biden. Joe Biden's not fast enough now to catch himself when he says an untruth. So he actually starts to kind of make up stuff to try to fill in the gaps of his memory. And I call the politicians now, and even a lot of the pastorate in the churches, part of what I call the liocracy. They rule over us with lies, don't they? The liocracy. It's not a democracy or totalitarian or socialist. It's just a liocracy. They lie to us to control us, don't they? The same thing with healthcare.
They do.
That's why we have fee-for-service. That's why we have doctors afraid to actually start doing functional medicine. Because if they did, they cut down the cost of healthcare. There'd be less bypasses and surgeries done, less joint replacements, less opioids. I mean, less everything bad and expensive and dangerous or lethal, and more natural healing, wouldn't there?
Indeed, and I would say this again. It's not just in the Democrat or Biden or whatever. I mean, look at
it's not just Democrats.
If I had an audience with Donald Trump, I would just say, sir, with all due respect, just tell the truth. And when you say something, don't lie. But there's a lot of there's a website that documents his thousands of lies, and it continues.
Well,
just be honest. I mean, I'd rather have.
He may be well-intentioned about some things like the stock market. To be honest with you, the best way to describe Trump is like he has good friends in WWE, World Federation in Wrestling, right? And he's like a political wrestler. I mean, he whips up the crowd and he gets people going. It's all about. That's why it's entertainment. But the fact is that he's not addressing issues. He's ignorant of a lot of facts. He's got globalists and just plain evil or knucklehead people around him, pushing 5G network, genetically modified food, or recycled water. And yes, he wants to solve things. How can I say it? He's like taking a slow-dose killing agent compared to the Democrats that are going to kill you right away. But to be honest with you, what he's doing is still lethal. And we have to get through to him. That's why I'm trying hard to actually make a backdoor contact to Trump, because the man is either ignorant or complicit. And he may be a little bit of both. How's that?
Yeah, people, I agree. I said I'd rather have him than Hillary for sure.
Oh yeah, but the thing is, I think he's trainable. I think he may have.
But it's like,
he may have a good intention, but he doesn't have good knowledge, though, right?
Yeah, which kind of poison is going to one that's going to kill you quicker than a slower poison?
We'll give an example.
Problematic.
They need a fiber optic the entire country and have phone booths again, so the people don't talk in public on their cell phone. Which is much faster, by the way, than Wi-Fi or even 5G or 6G. They can have little wire. I'd actually got a company in London that developed this thing, a little antenna with a little light on your ceiling that's hundreds of times faster than Wi-Fi. And there would be no danger of electropollution connecting to your computer wirelessly in your home to a fiber optic cable in your ceiling. So what I want to see is I want them to get off the 5G thing and get off the autonomous vehicle thing, like drones flying to your front doorstep from Amazon an hour after you order it. I don't want to have autonomous vehicles, autonomous robots, autonomous whatever drones flying around. I don't want them to track everybody with, now they want to track us like the Chinese, and they want to use this supernet and the internet and now this 5G, 6G network. I don't want them affecting my genetics of my gut biome and my mitochondria and killing insects with 5G network. I don't want them to put genetically modified food that causes microcephaly, cancer, and sterility. I don't want them to put recycled toxic water. But you see, Trump is a dummy in all these areas. He's dangerous. And he's so ignorant he doesn't know, just like the average person in the public. They want to attack the messenger because they don't want to hear it. Too bad. We're not going to be quiet because you say, we don't like you, Dr. Deagle, because you talk over your guests. I raise issues. It's a dialogue, not a monologue, isn't it? And you provide valuable information and valuable technology, but you got to hear from the Deke. Okay? If you don't like it, don't listen. How's that?
Yeah, and I just, again, this is kind of a magical thing to come through the air.
Right.
5G is a transfer, and 4G and everything else. Well,
This is scary
Wi-Fi
stuff, man.
comes out through the air.
Well,
Think
we
about it,
talked
though.
about this
There's-
last
the
week.
Wi-
And tomorrow we have Pastor Carl Gallups back on. Last week he talked about his Christian, the Messianic pastor in Israel, and he talked about the breakdown of the word temple. The temple is a naos, which is us, our brain, our spirit, our consciousness. And they're actually working to hack into our consciousness through 5G. If they can have their way, they can actually insert into our consciousness ideas in, and we might even know if it's not our idea, but we think it's actually being inserted, just like voice to call skull the last 30 years in Japan. We can walk by a soda machine and they have voice to skull sound to tell you, oh, buy soda in Japanese. You don't know. Your brain is telling you because you can hear a subsonic frequency below the threshold of hearing. It's telling you you're thirsty. You should buy a Japanese soda. And it's legal in Japan to do that. Did you know that? For the last 30-some years.
Yeah.
Is that ever nuts or what?
The Bible talks about the prince of the power of the air.
Yeah.
Well, that's simply, the adversary.
Yeah.
So be careful, beware, and
Right.
make your voices heard. So.
Well, now, the word magi, what does it stand for? It almost sounds like the magi that gave the gifts to Jesus. Is there some kind of similarity to that word, magi?
Well, yeah, it's about, again, why did the ancients call that primal bone the sacrum? Sacrum literally is Latin for holy. You have 200 and some odd, I don't know how many, 200 plus bones in your body. Only one bone is called the sacred or holy bone.
Yeah, the holy bone,
why?
right?
Why do they call it that?
Yeah.
See, it goes back to what its function is, and the magi works in the same way to get a magnetic audio gal ingestion. That's magi. So it's an acronym, simply that.
Right.
And so, yeah.
Magnetic audio generator of maybe intelligence, mineral and intelligence, because it's 432 hertz. I'm really looking forward to getting my own magi, and looking forward to getting it out to people and helping them, along with my NutriMeds and other technology, to heal them. I'm looking forward to getting them off pills. I'm looking forward to them also not succumbing to 5G network and having people hack into their consciousness and their DNA. I mean, I'm very aware of how to make a directed energy weapon. That's why I've said, if I get advance notice that somebody's coming, like, Special Forces or Delta, I have skill sets to make advanced weapons they won't even see coming. It's not going to go pop like a gun. It'll affect them lethally or non-lethally in ways that they can't expect. So I don't want to see that happen, but believe me, I'm prepared to tell people you need to protect yourself from electropollution just in your home and your walls, like with the Stats Riser, but you need to have my epigenetic frequency machine, and you need a magi. This is going to help energize your cells to let your body heal and fractionally clone yourself to a new you. Maybe we should call it the new you machine. How's that? The magi new you.
Could do that.
Amazing. Get that information over to me and the pricing. I'll get it posted up here right away. Dr. Truatt, we need to get you back on next week. Coming up tomorrow, we have myself on hour number 1, your calls and questions on health. Terry Richard Arnold, we hope, is doing well. Pastor Carl Gallups is back with more amazing wisdom and spiritual truth. And coming up on Friday, Harley Schlanger in hour 2 and Dr. Betty Martini and her colleagues. You don't want to miss it. Call in with questions or email them and I'll read them on air. 818-818-6401. Thank you for listening. Thank you. Take care, pray, and take action.